Hi Earth signs, welcome. Let's get started with your creative inspiration, spiritual encouragement, love, play, whatever it is, exploration reading, just brainstorming, I guess. So I already pulled 3 cards from this Puzzle Fortune Jigsaw deck, and the one that came out first was 6, the Lovers. This book ended by the High Priestess and the Hermit. So, and again, I've been saying this in all the readings, none of this is staged. I really do want this to be as organic and real as possible, even if I am like extrapolating and finding visuals and things like that. The whole process here is just kind of going with the flow, and whatever comes out, comes out. Try not to interfere too much, so, or at all. But yeah, so the Lovers, 6, and the High Priestess came up for the last reading I did for air signs, so maybe that's applicable to you. The Hermit also is number 9, so 629. So, the Lovers can sometimes be about a choice. It can just very well mean love and lovers and your lover, or something that you love to do, or but sometimes there's an angel and 2 people. So below, this one has 5. But yeah, sometimes it talks about a choice. Or Gemini, also too, since the High Priestess came up for air signs. This also represents Gemini, so maybe use some Gemini in your chart. And there's a lot of hugging. Sometimes they're apart, so I kind of think of like a long distance relationship or something. These cards are really small, but I just noticed all the like little animals. They're all everyone's kissing. All rabbits, and so. But I also think of the Lovers and this whole theme of Adam and Eve, Mary, Jesus, all these things that we've been talking about that will probably make more sense as we keep going and develop explore this theme a little bit further. So, but the High Priestess, it's about mysteries and secrets and things unknown to us and to others, and just sort of keeper gateways and the other side, and knowledge, hidden knowledge, and esoteric, and but mystery too, and what is mysterious to you? Maybe, sometimes I feel like it's just they're both looking at each other sometimes, like mysteries, and everyone's a mystery, but secrets, I just keep wanting to say secrets, anything having to do with water too, water signs maybe, the moon, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Yeah, so can mean birth, and Lovers, it's very loving energy. It's just weird that there's 5 people here. I've never seen that or gotten this card before. Looks like they're standing in some sort of like rose garden. The looks more like ropes though, like the wheat. Maybe these people in the background are like 3 muses. Yeah, and the Hermit is searching within, sometimes searching with, like literally going on a walk or in the dark, taking one thing at a time, looking for guidance. So he's on a search for truth, and it's like a little bit dark. It's turned up all the way. So he's on a search. It's going it alone, just being sort of reflective and inner journey, that kind of thing. Searching within, looking for answers. 9, it's the end of a cycle, and so I feel like maybe Cancer energies, especially with the moon here, and I feel like wisdom too, a lot of wisdom. Maybe you're implementing a lot of knowledge or information, research. Maybe you're researching love or something. Different expressions of love. Otherworldly type things. This is really far. Maybe it's not. Okay. Beginning and end of something. I'll just move on, but I feel like, yeah, it's a lot of like very 6, the Lovers. Maybe since the Hermit's very much inner, like in love, 2, partnership. Yeah, so let's see, what should I do first? Maybe from Archangel Oracle deck. Stay bright. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's so far away. You know what, I'll put it below in the expanded details. Be sure to check those out, and you know, the playlists and corresponding visuals and all that. On the bottom here is claircognizance. That's just that knowing feeling, because you've searched within, you've searched your psyche, your inner knowledge, your inner wisdom, things that you just know to be true. And this actually came up for, I think, fire signs, claircognizance, and it really literally means it's like a, you know, it's like, it's just that gut knowing feeling. And I had mentioned the philosopher, and it's Spinoza, who talked about these 3 levels of knowledge, and I compared claircognizance to perceptual learning to the 3rd level of knowledge, and things having to do with the subconscious, and being able to grasp the gist of something is basically what claircognizance means. If you don't believe in like spiritual type things, just on the top of a mountain with this glowing orb. I think of like some sort of liberty statue, or a rainbow too. It just looks very like accomplished in a way. Maybe you're feeling like you're on the top of a mountain, and also reminds me of Shakira video. And all the rays like radiating out from her one torch type thing. So I feel like, because he has one little light in front of him to see in the dark, and I feel like maybe he's come out of it. It seems general, it can apply to, you know, girls, guys, but come out of the searching, the hermit, being a hermit maybe. I'm a little bit of a hermit these days, but just, you know, inner reflection, I think, and coming out with all this knowledge and light, and being able to shine a huge light onto something, creating a huge spectrum of possibilities, and being able to see the big picture, mountain, climbing your mountain. What's your mountain? There's a quote that says, you were given this mountain to show others that it can be moved. So your challenge, your mountain, is also your, in a way, a gift, an opportunity to make it to the top, maybe rock climbing too, or so the Alps, or this is Archangel Uriel. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So yeah, making sure that you really listen and take in all the information, and maybe within a group setting or whoever you're with, or partnership, or just, your own spirit guides, your muses, your, just really paying attention to things that I feel like, even when you're aware of, even if you feel like you have a claircognizant ability, a strong one, and you've been kind of developing it, I feel like I have that. I very much have that knowing feeling about things, and have for a long time, but I still, I dismiss thoughts thinking, oh, that's just, whatever. So it does, I think it's important to not just pay attention to signs, but understand, maybe even through like a tracking process or reflection process, to know what really is, meant for you, and what really is speaking to you, or what signs and ideas and thoughts and things like that come to you aren't necessarily just, whatever. They can really, really lead to something. Think of when I was creating this series called Birds of a Feather, and I was trying to come up with the idea, and I was not thinking about that at all. I was going to do all these other different things, and I just laid down and tried to close my eyes, meditate in a way, just clear my head and see if anything came to me. And literally, birds of a feather, the phrase, like I almost like saw it like pop into my head, flash across a black screen kind of thing. And it got me curious. I've heard that phrase before, but I wanted to see how that could translate into something else, and maybe even just like the structure of birds' feathers and wings, and the layering and the density in certain areas, and I thought that I could translate into fashion and things like that. It's just so weird because it was in the middle. I was not even I was house sitting for a friend, and it was in the middle of a blizzard in New York, and so I don't think I'd even gone outside that day, and there was definitely no birds. Maybe, I don't think I even saw a pigeon. Like, it wasn't even on my periphery. Like, it wasn't something at all. Like, I don't have a weird thing for birds. Like, I pretty neutral on birds. Like, they're nice. I don't, but, yeah. So it was just so strange that came to me. So, but it led to a big series and further work and stuff. So paying attention, had I just dismissed it, would have, who knows, So I'm going to pull another one because that one fell out. And clairsentience was right under that. So maybe like the clairs, the different senses, psychic abilities, spiritual gifts, that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of spiritual cards here, and I feel like, Archangel Raguel, notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So yeah, noticing those things, and I feel like more coming from your heart and the emotion, less your mind and that gut feeling. Really feeling strongly about something and letting those feelings guide you towards whatever solution or thing you're looking for, answer. But also knowing that our emotions can, screw with our head too, you know, and so yeah, tracking, reflecting on things that really worked out or felt right, and knowing divine order, justice and scales and keeping balance and law, things like that. Archangel Raguel again. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. I love that quote. I've heard it before, not through these cards though, so I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing. Looking past the illusion, like kind of like what I was trying to say, because emotions can be, you know, elusive and create illusions in our mind, you know, seeing what we want to see, hearing what we want to hear, kind of thing. So based on our feelings, emotions. So again, just sort of understanding the underlying order of things that happen for you in your own life to see what will be the best way to proceed and what choice to make and things like that. Angel therapy is on the bottom. Gifts from God. Yeah, so spiritual gifts. And I do think of like the Justice Libra as like representation of spirit and God and things like that. Gifts from God. Archangel Sandalphon. We angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. So it's kind of like a little bit of like Fool energy, soul, universe. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Archangel Raphael. What are these like spheres, and has this chalice gift, something precious to you. Looks like a trophy. Maybe you're winning something, kind of encourages you. They'll have their like little props. I don't know if all the cards are like that, but almost looks like this little orb right here is her own little universe. Some sort of offer too, maybe, or just filling up your cup, feeling refueled, you know, feeling encouraged, feeling gifts from God. I mean, I feel like no one should ever feel like they can't say that they're gifted, because being gifted in some respect is a gift. You know, you didn't ask for it. You do what you can with it, and you acknowledge it. You know, otherwise it does kind of just, it's taken for granted, I guess. I'll pull a Rune card. Put the links for these below too. So for Earth signs. This is wholeness, the sun here. 24. It's a great card. It's just it becomes the Lovers. 6 makes me think of all the levels here in these playlists and all the different levels, layers. There's 24 of them. I had no idea. I thought there's like 9. And then I started adding them all up one day, and it was like 24. I couldn't believe it. The Unknowable. Six stars. Actually, I remember, I like the quote, and I can't find the book that talks about it. So, I don't know, it's something about like looking up into the sky, telling you what you see, maybe constellations or something, guideposts, I feel like he's like making his way in the dark, looking for a sign or a guidepost, direction, things like that, that put there by someone who understands the land, the area better than you. So as an analogy for signs, but also kind of needing to know, again, kind of what is meant for you, you know, not just following any random sign, like you'd end up somewhere that you're not trying to go, probably. So, again, noticing recurring themes that work for you, that grant you some sort of guidance, and there's partnership too. And this means gift, Gabo. So, yeah. Divine gifts, maybe, just the unknowable fate, bringing two things together, another rainbow, double rainbow, so full spectrum, things that are just circular, cyclical in nature. See the waves in the background, and so the ups and downs kind of going along with the High Priestess and the moon, start of like the flood, the water, the emotional part, the feminine, sacred feminine kind of thing. But yeah, the waves of motion, moon, flux and reflux, and motion, waves, sort of paint brushes, strokes, and emotional waves, being in control of that, but also recognizing it, I think. Two swans, heart. So what speaks to your heart? Sounds on the bottom again. Okay, so I'll put links for that below. And I've been pulling, I found this bag of buttons and been pulling them just randomly, colorway, maybe needing some color inspiration. Really interesting daisy or something. Flowers, 5 petals. Oh my gosh, I had a candle going and it's going crazy. We pulled a lot. More flowers, blues, earth signs, another flower. More green. More limey. So many here. This reminds me of like a wheel or CD. Sort of like hammered, textured, pale blue-ish. This looks like it's like beigey pink, almost white, and what's it called? It reminds me of sea glass, just that more dull, I guess, neutral, and a little orange guy. And with that, I've been pulling these Shakespeare's flower cards for more sensory color inspiration. So let's see. Earth signs: Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Maybe you could have a garden. Maybe wanting to plant some new things for the spring. Ace of Hearts, like the Ace of Cups, which also goes along with this theme. It's been like coming up before, the Holy Grail of like the Da Vinci and all that. So Columbine, I am that flower, that Columbine, loves labor's lost. Loves labor's lost. Purple and yellow. So I some purple. Hearts, it's the beginning of something, kind of like the High Priestess. It's again a spiritual sort of gift or advice or something that inspires, something that is like a kind gesture, or could very well just be a drink, glass of water, chalice again, like the Angel card. Usually this card has an M on it, kind of like since Mary, sort of. But when I was watching the Da Vinci Code, I literally just watched it for the first time in so long, and I've forgotten so much, but I love those kinds of mystery, national treasure, such a nerd. But yeah, and then you turn it upside down, and it's W, and they talk about how the chalice represents the womb. So yeah, Holy Grail. Search for the Holy Grail, like the hermit searching for something, and how they talk about Mary being the Holy Grail. Yeah, it's again just the beginning of something very lovely, beautiful, cups, emotions, some sort of nice feeling too, filling up your cup with inspiration. I like the quotes I'll use, so I'm going to look for a better quote. That was not even a quote. Anything else for this deck? Earth sign. God. Again, I can't reach it. I'll put it below. Maybe this is important. 5 of Spades. 5 of Earth. Buttercup. Cuckoo buds. And cuckoo buds of yellow hue do paint the meadows with delight. Love's labor's lost. Fill me up, buttercup. Is it fill me? Yeah. Scrumptious, I just wanted to say, like very, I don't know, these just somehow remind me of like cake decoration, flowers, just very, I don't know, but 5 is a change in the way that, change in your direction, change in something, change in how you feel about something, or change the way that you approach something maybe. It's noticing also something, not walking past an opportunity that would be great for you. Since we're on this like lover's kick, love's labor's lost. I don't know it, but let's pull from this earth signs. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. This reminds me, there's something called a sex club called Chemistry, or a sex club called Chemistry in New York. I never went, but we just wanted to see if we could get in. Because you had to like apply and fill out this whole thing. We definitely got in, but we never went. Chemistry, friction, just lost my train of thought for a second. But feeling that strong pull towards someone or something just draws your attention. makes you do a double take, look twice. Maybe that being your clue to pursue something. He's just like curious, and there's just this like floating orb that the energy that two people create, physics in a way, chemistry between two people, or between two different elements, two things that you're working on, finding the middle ground. I'm going to be talking about a choice though too. So she's usually saying between two pillars and two opposites, beginning and end. So yeah, some sort of halfway point. Opposites attract kind of thing. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So whether it's talking about people that you work with, or even just, you know, yourself, being honest with yourself about what you need to do in order to move forward with something, or maybe not doing things halfway to completion. I just thought of that, but yeah, so chemistry. Let's pull from the start to have issues talking after doing a few of these. Art of Life Tarot. What do earth signs to know, or what would be good? Highest and greatest good of all. Strength. Portrait of Queen Elizabeth I, the Armada portrait after George Gower, 16th century. He knows not his own strength that hath not met adversity, Francis Bacon. Just again, having some sort of like inner strength or resistance, or holding back maybe a little bit, or just having grace and power, like being very using your higher mind, things like that. But just reminded me, all the bows on there remind me of the lion in The Wizard of Oz at the end when he gets his makeover. That was like my favorite part, where they got the makeovers. And he had all those bows in his hair. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but I just want to say reserved or something. But strength can also just be like physical strength and health, and taking care of something, looking after something, a pet sometimes. Not that Queen Elizabeth is a pet, but it's number 8 too in the Major Arcana. Page of Swords is on the bottom. When the student is ready, the master will appear. Buddhist proverb. Paul writing by Camille Pissarro, 1894. There's a quick wit little kid that has, you know, a lot of studious, and he likes to, you know, tell others about things, and maybe a little bit of a gossip or something like that. If it is a kid, person, younger person, or it's just a, you know, a message, a tweet, a notification, something like that. Something having to do with the internet, and maybe Libra again. This came through as pitch an idea. So maybe you are maybe holding back and looking for answers. Maybe you just need to put out there, pitch an idea. I did talk about Ultraviolet Dove in the supplementary playlist and tarot card reader that I learned a lot from. And weird how it just, when I was really stuck on something and I just didn't know how I'd gone over it a million times and even done tarot reading trying to figure it out. And I was watching something on YouTube, like a tutorial or something, and the automatic play, and she just came on the screen, and this was like the first quote that she said: "When the student is ready, the master will appear." And I don't know. There's a lot of weird things with her reading. So, anyways, watching over something. Writing. This makes me think of going with this religious theme in Ephesus. You can visit it's around the Colosseum, but like the meeting place. Is that what it's called? By the Library of Celsus, kind of writing, and you can actually see it's down this long road pathway that used to lead to a river, and it's like where Cleopatra and people would dock their boats and to come visit Ephesus and walk up this long pathway, like some sort of huge procession. And in the far distance, you can see the house on a hill where I think Paul wrote to the Corinthians, and where he was imprisoned. I think it was Paul. But yeah, so a little off subject, but maybe writing something down, helping yourself remember the things that come through, the thoughts, the ideas, the synchronicities, the musings that you have, maybe time stamping them, I want to say, dating them, so you can look back and remember specific things. It's always interesting to do that, and just totally forgot about certain things. The Lovers is on the bottom here. The heart has reasons that reason cannot know. Is Pascal, and even by George Frederick Watts. So I think lighting up your mind, light bulb. I thought at first this was the Cupid and Psyche. That's the Page of Cups. I feel like she's breathing life back into him. Kind of like the Strength card, typical imagery, taking care of something, looking over something. Looks like spirit. I think I like a G. 1969. So maybe you got Cancer. I'll pull more from the stack. Maybe having strength, holding back something you want to say or tell someone. Cards are going everywhere. What else do earth signs need to know? Oh my God. The Hangman. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Lao Tzu, Two Acrobats by Ernst Kirchner. Kirchner Museum, Switzerland. And the world on the bottom. I like this quote a lot, so I'll say, all that Adam had, all that Caesar could, you have and can do. Build, therefore, your own world. Ralph Waldo Emerson's Portions of the Human Figure, after Vitruvius, so by Leonardo da Vinci, 1492, Venice, Italy. Diagrams, I feel like there's a lot of that sort of diagrams, journaling. proportions, angles, geometry. So this is also beyond the, it's weird, beyond the like Da Vinci Code, Da Vinci Beta theme, all of it. I've been also thinking a lot about this card, actually, this imagery, the Hangman, which is about enlightening yourself and hanging out and gaining new perspective, maybe from a different angle, but sometimes stretching yoga. So I think of stretching your mind, backbends, contortionists, acrobats, spandex, leisure work, things like that. So like mind-bending movies, things that really get into your subconscious, that really make you think about things in a different way. Even if you have to go out of your way or something to do it, like this, bending over backwards. This is too acrobat, I think I said that. Switzerland. I think of Switzerland being neutral or something in the Libra, Page of Swords, Libra, justice, balance, neutral, fair. Hangman, those kind of, again, I feel like regaining your mental perspective, balance, like seeing things, taking a time out, a break, to see things clearly, not like fly off a handle or just, but it's also 12 and reduces down to 3, so it's creativity, music, things having to do with your mind that inspire you, that get the wheels turning, stretch your mind, see new possibilities. I want to say like color blocking, but like replacing colors, putting colors in different orders or something to create different patterns. I don't know that. Almost like a Pantone system. Maybe matching that up with periodic table or something and the numbers and seeing what sorts of like quilt-like color blocked pattern you get. Maybe I'll do that. That sounds interesting. 12, the Hangman, can also mean a sacrifice of something. But coming full circle with something. Completion. World is also ruled by Saturn, or associated with Saturn. Saturn's about, karma and things that coming full circle. Like that. So what is the word I'm looking for? Just sort of along the lines of acrobat, like the shadows and like a trail of movement. Thought of the Kama Sutra because of this. I don't know if that is something that you could turn into something else. Hangman, though. Take me back to the start. Coldplay song there. So I think of, going back to the start, coming back home. This oftentimes means just coming home to putting your stamp, your signature. I could say that. Putting your stamp, your signature on something, coming back home. Homecoming, Queen. I had Daydream, Believer there. In the supplementary playlist too. I feel like it just kind of expands on all of the different themes and things, just other videos I find that I don't have placed yet for. shadows and your shadow side, your 7th house. It's everything opposites, everything you think you're not, and kind of can be complementary to you. Hangman, maybe the 12th house, the mysteries, things that are hidden, looking into more like esoteric type things, just to see how they apply to you and what you already believe and how that could expand that further, mind expansion, the Hangman, but also like, the 12th house, Pisces, coming full circle, understanding some things that also talks a little bit about like the really grand mysteries, things that are just totally unknown, and maybe I'll put a link for the 12th house below, but it is, the end of the zodiac cycle. So that's 21 reduces down to 3 too. So 3, 3, 6. Let's see, next. What next? I already put a card. Hangman can also be representative of Jesus, not just the Hermit. Sometimes I think of the Hermit as like other, old wise person. The cross, and the midpoint of the cross, the alchemical cycle, talking about the different axes, so then also like a graph, and sometimes this can talk about science, partnership. The meeting point, it's the different axes, and different mindsets and things like that I put a link for. You can go back and look at that. From like our male to female, like on the horizontal axes, and from earth to heaven on the or unknown, the unknowable, on the vertical axes. Squaring the circle or something. The universe is transformation. Our life is what our thoughts make it. I feel like that's pretty appropriate. The Moon by Thomas Hans, 1910. That's Judgment. 20. So again, kind of partnership. Reducing down to 2. The Hermit's on the bottom, underneath that too. Now, where can a man find a quieter, more untroubled retreat than in his own soul? Marcus Aurelius, Solitude. Watching the horizon at sunset in the hope of seeing a vessel. I like the Ace of Cups, like a vessel. Horizon line, the axes. And the Moon and the High Priestess. This is Australia. Augustus Earl, 1824. National Library. Library. I think of the Library of Celsus that I just mentioned, and how it was built and constructed with just an interesting, I think it's, if I remember correctly, it has a lot to do with perspective, the Hangman, and illusion, like optical illusion kind of thing. I think the columns are closer together on top, so it looks smaller, and it has this like more, I'll try to find a link for that too. But Leonardo da Vinci, Leo, Strength. What other cards do I have here? I need so many cards. And the Strength, I also kind of think of as Sagittarius and Leo. It's a girl and a lion, typical imagery. And it can be representative of that, even though it's mainly Leo. But Sagittarius and Leo actually make Libra. It's composite, like the conjunction, composite sign. Maybe your composite sun sign within a partnership creates a different dynamic, and that's maybe also with your moon too. Each planet has a composite, so it's interesting to look at. How did I get on that stars? But yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, Leo, strength. Maybe Leonardo da Vinci's here. I can't see those kind of things. Let's ask. Leonardo da Vinci, are you with us? Five of Cups. Sometimes it's because I think of like numbers and cups, like yes and no. Like I don't know what his sign was. Empress is on the bottom. Let's try it again. Hermit looks like Leonardo da Vinci, you know, the beard and older man and Ace of Wands. Yep. Also, Ancient of Days. Ancient. It's that spark of an idea. Virtues. Sparks of light. Love, and it's also beyond the tarot. I ordered the videos to work with the alchemical cycle, and the first stage of the alchemical cycle is calcination, and it manifests in different ways from a personal to planetary level. And on the physical level, talks about aerobic exercise. That's why I have that video there from love, but I also think of just love, you know. It's the beginning of some sort of spark of love. Magic wand. It's the go ahead, it's the green light. It's the Nine of Swords. Being up all night with your thoughts. Again, another 9. Maybe with an air energy. It's also the moon in the background, so lots of lunar energy. A lot of emotion, feeling your way through something, even when you can't see the next few steps, like just kind of relying on instinct maybe. It almost looks backwards with like the checkerboard ceiling, some sort of double dimension or something. Nine of Swords, though. Interesting that I put that papyrus SNL sketch in the Nine of Swords slot, and because that's what it means, being up all night. He's up all night and worried about things, usually things that are on your mind that keep you up. And like I said, I hadn't even watched that movie for, I don't know, 10 years maybe. And I totally forgot that there were like papyrus scrolls, and trying to figure out, like, because there was a hole burned out talking about where Jesus used to kiss Mary, or maybe it was like a extracted document. I don't remember exactly, but papyrus means something important having to do with the whole Da Vinci Code theories and things like that. So interesting that I had already put that in there together and just kind of led that way. Maybe though, finish seeing something up. 9 something, 9 hours, 9 days, 9 thoughts, 9 levels. Ace of Swords. So again, it's the beginning of a thought, a brand new thought. Just a thought. Just unclue. That's how you pronounce it. In the Ace of Swords slot. And sort of dagger. And how everything begins with a thought, with an idea. I feel like there's a lot of overlap between wands and swords, like thoughts and ideas, and just more passionate here and more thoughtful, more logical there. But it's also sort of like yes, it can be a little bit impulsive. It can be a little bit like taking the initiative. I feel like both of these are something maybe having to do with it's up to you, or it's on you, or it's, I don't know, the Chariot on the bottom. Got a lot of major arcana: the World, the Strength, the Chariot, the Hermit. It's like making two things go in one direction. Silver and gold, like the Venus playlist. It's 2 Sphinxes. Need some sort of like spiritual warriors, like meaning the card, but also just victory and like military. 7. Having divine help, gifts, spirit. It also has to do with Cancer and the moon. So a lot of Cancerian energy, a lot of it's also just be movement. Could mean a car, any sort of transit. Maybe transits in your, paying attention to like transits in your astrological cycle and your astrological wheel, your natal chart. There we go. And transits and things that are affecting different areas and houses in your life, maybe. Keeping track, note of that. Maybe the moon is very important to you. I feel like emotions run the world, whether we're aware of it or not, because they dictate all of our choices and feelings about others and actions. So emotions being very important, the moon being very, very important, waves and tides and again, like that, those ups and downs, but I feel like with a lot of this Libran energy, there's a lot of like balance too. It's about balance and letting someone else take the wheel too, like letting your higher self, letting Spirit, God, your instincts, letting your know-how guide in a way. It reminds me more of like Cleopatra in this. So 7, maybe also July, Strength, Leo. So all these stones that I find, it's pretty. I wish I could like blow it up and have a big stone sort of bench thing that looks like this. Sort of like a green marble, and feel like it's the same colors. It's heavy, it's like a paperweight. It's like Picasso stone. You can't see them very well, but yeah. Let's pull one from the top of the deck. Ace of Wands is on the bottom. Weird. It happens a lot. Like, whenever I pick up a deck of cards, it's always dictating, like, what just happened, or, like, what is about to happen, or, like, if I'm about to take a drink of water or something, it would be, like, Ace of Cups on the bottom. Okay. Anything else for Earth signs through the Thoth deck? Thoth, knowledge, the torch, like Prometheus, Earth, enlightening people. Earth signs, anything else? Interference. The Eight of Swords. Different too. It reminds me of like having them on display or something. Being stuck in your head a little bit. This is Jupiter and Gemini. Needing to release yourself, maybe. This came up for air signs. But wealth, the Ten of Pentacles. Stars on the bottom here. Aquarius. This is Virgo. It's like generations. I feel like this goes well together. These two, star. Actually, really like this card. It's about inspiration and hope and following your North Star and things of that nature. Again, illumination, just sort of prisms, and they add up to be 18, the moon, so which then is 9. I mean, that's how I connect things. So 9 in the Hermit, Moon in the Hermit, High Priestess in the Hermit. Interference, something surrounding. It's also like give some people something to talk about. This comes from that. This is the Five of Cups, Mars in Scorpio. Came up in the last reading too, but in a different deck. It's turning around and seeing something in a new, seeing the hope that's still there, looking for the silver lining. I feel like silver lining of the clouds and silver sphinx, the air and the swords and the dagger. And, it's not crying over spilled milk. It's change in how you feel about something. Here we go, the Empress. It's not in the bottom of one of these decks too, and it actually came up in the last 2 readings. So it's 3, the Empress, another swan like the Leda, and the Lotus, just representing femininity, and 2 moons. Think of like the 2 moons of Saturn, Jupiter, Saturn, I think. Saturn, really in the Earth signs. She also, Empress, is Venus, which rules over Taurus and Libra. So everything having to do with beauty and art and material comfort and surrounding yourself with beauty, things that you enjoy that make you feel good, and I feel like it comes out in different ways. Like Taurus is more of a, the material, earth, comfort zone, and Libra is more just wanting to be surrounded by beauty and just being very artistic and maybe writing, or like my dad's Libra and just good at like gardening and cooking and things like that, that make your environment nice. I did mention gardening before. She's holding a flower. Lots of flowers, lots of things coming to life, and that's what she, Empress, represents. Birth, creativity, love, things coming from love. Love makes the world go round. What was I going to say? Completion. Maybe you are feeling like you are completing some karma. I know I feel that way. Saturn return. I am convinced I have had the worst Saturn return that's ever possible. For anyone, like seriously. Just where it sits and all that. Between two houses and retrogrades, and I feel like I've been experiencing a Saturn return for, I don't know, 7 years. Ton of cups on here. Yeah, this is completion, Venus and Aries, 4 of rods. So, again, it's a coming together of complementary aspects or people or a setup of things that bring us some sort of celebration or get together on a more mundane level, and just 4 spokes, a corner, maybe a corner of the world, which you can see in 21, the Venus playlist on the signage behind him. It talks about distillation and underground. I think of the factory, underground art scene, and picking your own stars. Maybe something underground or inside the world. I know I've heard things about there being cities inside the world. 14. Maybe say how you feel. Victory. 6 of rods. So saying how you feel, how something really makes you feel. Always look again, sparks and cross points, intersections. 6 of wands and Leo, Jupiter and Leo. So abundance of creativity and of expression and things that are fun and joyful and playful. I feel like number 20, you can see same kind of colors on her headdress piece. These almost look like fluorescent or neon tubing. It makes me think of Rodarte's set design. But also sort of clear, almost like fibers under a microscope. Like science, the high priestess. Looking at cotton wools, and how it's very transparent, almost strand of a fiber. Makes me think of being in textile class and having to do all of our tests. That's weird, all the tests and things like that for textiles, and we'd have to identify, unknown fibers, mystery fibers, fabrics, and do a lot of acid tests and microscope testing and just different kinds of ways of identifying the fabric, the fibers. Think of how wool looks like it has scales, and cotton convolutions, I took so many textile classes. But I don't really remember too much. I'm sure I do, but yeah, so kind of like the High Priestess, and I was working on a series when I blown up fibers and just very kind of like abstract, kind of like that, but on a grander scale. Different colors, translucent piping, something plastic. Almost looks like distressed background too, very like sponge effect. It's subtle. Truth, Four of Swords. Again. So again, that cross meeting point, it looks a lot like these. It's Jupiter and Libra. A lot of air energy for earth signs, so maybe you're having to use your mind a lot, really figure something out. Look at all the details. Page of Swords, and letting the connections, the details guide you. I put expanded details below these videos, and it's just interesting to me that they all sort of come up in like all the visuals, things that I talk about in the reading that, I mean, I don't know what's going to come up, and most of the videos I hadn't even seen, or at least not for years. It's so weird then how you can almost hear the same words, or you see the visual. It's just bizarre how it kind of works out like that. So looking at all the details and letting those details tell a story as well for, again, more stability and getting to the point. It reminds me of like a ceiling sconce. Optics again, and rays of light. Like the Lana Del Rey Born to Die video in the Fire playlist. I don't know if I've ever seen the video before I put it in the playlist. And it was just so bizarre because I literally had a scene like that. Everything down to like this and like the like wiping just like that, steam, like the window and Titanic, driving around, like it was bizarre because I don't think I saw that video, never remembered it, like, and then found it like months later after this experience happened to me, where it just was almost like a retelling on top of all the other reasons why I picked that video. So same with the Hangman. Even the color shirt she's wearing, she takes off her jacket in the car. So weird. Oh my god. Hangman. It's on the bottom here. So yeah, you can see 28 or 12, 21. Mirror reflections. I think of also Chiron, the wounded warrior, and talks about your baggage and things that you're unaware of and things you're supposed to heal in this life, I think. And I don't know, it's a bit hard to yeah, it's carrying that 4 too. So again, it's about regaining some sort of mental clarity and perspective. Just lots of angles. I mean, this is a very Art Deco both illustration deck, but let's see from this deck. Oh my gosh, it's a tower. So this is some sort of shock or surprise. And 16. It's a shock that it's already an hour and 15 minutes. I did not realize that. 16. King of Cups. I think of some sort of family man, and also the Four of Wands that also talked about bloodlines and four spokes, and then that's another layer in all the playlists. I think of the minor arcana, and I was kind of dividing up by my four family lines in a way too. See if that told a story beyond what I'd already know. Just going by the structure of the tarot, and since everything is cyclical, anyways. Interestingly enough, it kind of does. So yeah, in the King of Cups, I think of as the Swedish side of my family, and then Switzerland and Germany and Poland. So, Germany, Poland, 16. This is finding, again, some sort of emotional stability, maybe feeling a bit isolated, but finding balance too. He's usually like some sort of family guy, family man, very intuitive, psychic, another water sign. Something that shocks you, electricity, things coming in that just kind of throw you off balance, maybe, that help you, or not help you, make you lose your balance a little bit, you having to take a time out and sort of regain. High Priestess is under that. That's too weird. And the Two of Cups. Casting your net wide. Knight of Cups and Page of Wands again. I'm going to pull different cards because I came up for the Ace of Rods. Again. So, yeah. Kind of looks like the tower in the background there. Same shape. Yeah, so new growth and things like that. Magician, as above, so below. So, I was actually getting nervous. The Seven of Wands, standing your ground, taking the high road. I was actually getting nervous that this was going to cut out, and I haven't done oracle cards yet, so I'm going to pause and be right back.